Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Lunchin with Lisa. This is the last day of the month, and it's also the last day to celebrate Women's History Month. But of course, not the last day to celebrate women because we are busy all year long. But I'm excited about tonight for many, many, many reasons. Um, so y'all probably gonna get annoyed with me, but I don't care because I'm excited about tonight. But first, we're going to talk about some things that are going on with Lunching with Lisa and me and all kinds of fun things. So I want to start off, and Sharifa, I know you're going to help me because my mind just went blank on where we start. But I wanted to actually remind you all that DSM Media actually does the background production for several shows. And we actually have a lineup of shows that we do every week. So starting on Tuesdays, we have Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul with host Michelle Bolden Hammond. So you can tune in every Tuesday, 7 to 8 p.m. We have Luncheon with Lisa, of course, on Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have The Stars with Tamika Joy. That's going to be starting up next month, I believe, on Fridays from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we also have a Saturday morning show at 10 a.m. To 11, Moms We See You with host Dr. Tashika Green and Jacqueline Griffin. And all of these shows have different platforms as far as what they talk about and who they interview, but they all have wonderful guests, different energies. But please tune into all of them. And if you're interested in having a show and having some background production, think about DSM Media. We could maybe help you with that. So among other things, I also want to shout out When Gigi Meets Cam, which is my very first children's book. January, we celebrated a year since that was published. And I also have 3 more coming. Hopefully this year under the Cam Capers children's book series. So I'm excited about that. Then we have Dove Style Magazine that you all know I've had since 2012. And as of January, we are celebrating this year 10 years, which is really, really cool. So we want you to stay tuned for some of the things that are going on with Dove Style Magazine and remind you that you can actually get ad space in the magazine. So hit us up if you want to, promote your businesses, your events, products, all kinds of things. We do have space. So the exciting part of this year is Dove Style Magazine is going to host its first awards event called Hidden Treasure Awards, where we're going to shine the spotlight on those who are doing some wonderful things, but you might not have seen them. So we want to celebrate our hidden treasures. So those are some of the things that we are celebrating. She forgot to share. I don't know why she skipped over it, but I wanted to shout out Shariva. She has a business called Saving My Pockets, where she helps you to keep your money in your pockets. I know she skipped over that, like I wasn't going to say that. Yes. So we celebrated her the first week of the month, and we continue to do that because this is the last one of the month. So don't be slipping out, Shariva. We got you. So y'all check her out. And I wanted to let you all know that if you didn't know about my very first book, The Power of Shut Up, we are having our second, The Power of Shut Up Symposium this year, April 30th. The tickets actually went on sale as of today over at Eventbrite. So please, please go over there and get your tickets and lock in. It's going to be a wonderful time. If you all were there last year, it was a powerful event, and I plan to step up the game. We have some wonderful guests that are going to be on here. Speakers, Sean Mason Lasore, Dr. Tanoa Hampton, Victoria M. Holland. We have Derek Prince DeJour from 102.3 Radio 1 is going to be there. Donnie, Donnie, actually, we don't use Donnie's government name, but Donnie Got the Beats is going to be on there. He's out of California. And we have Nigel Birch who's going to be joining us. So it's going to be a powerful panel. And of course, we have a national recording artist, Corinthia Cromwell. If you have heard her on that saxophone, you already know it's going to be so nice. So among giveaways and all kinds of surprises, and of course, we'll be celebrating Tauruses because I am a April baby. April 22nd is my birthday, so we will be celebrating Tauruses all day at the event. So please get your tickets and check it out. I wanted to shout out actually Sharon Parker, who has her 9th annual Leading Within conference that I am going to be. I'm a part of that, so I want you all to go out there and start to get your tickets and things. She's setting that up for us, so that's another thing that's going on. I also want to share with you that Shariva and I, as DSM Media, have teamed up with the Moms We See You show, and we're going to have a Mommy and Me virtual tea royal affair. And I mean, we're going all out. We're wearing our fascinators and everything else. So you all please go over to Eventbrite and you can register. It is a free virtual event on Saturday, May 7th. So there's no reason not to just go over there and register and be in the room. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about some subjects. I wish I had the topics, Shariva, of some of the topics like mirror, building bridges, listen, Linda. We're going to talk about some stuff that mommies and daughters go through. So it's going to be really cool. And I wanted to actually shout out my fellow co-authors for a new book project that I've been working on that's going to release in June called Step Into Leadership Greatness, Leaders Producing Leaders. I'm a co-author on this book. So I'm excited about this. We've been actually doing different show appearances. I have one on Monday on another show, but Dr. Jennifer Jones Bryant is the visionary, and she's put together a dynamic team of co-authors. So I'm excited to push that out coming in June. So as you can see, we're a little busy over here, but in a good way, So I wanted to now introduce our guests and have you talk to them a little bit. Then later on, we're going to have some fun with a luncheon with Lisa moment. They don't really know what we're going to be lunching about, but they'll find out because they on here with me. But you see my sister looking at me crazy. So I wanted to introduce, first I'm going to introduce, and I want to make sure I say her name correctly, is Zavia.
Hey, yep.
Hey,
Right,
I got it. And I'm actually going to explain to you how they're connected as well. But welcome to Luncheon with Lisa. I'm going to give you a little background on Zavia so you know who you're looking at. So Zavia began her career in Brooklyn hair salons. And for the past 16 years, she has glammed the faces of nationwide news anchors, reporters, and meteorologists. In addition, she has worked on movie sets and traveled with some well-known talent. Most recently, she has been building a portfolio of Black women in politics, and it has been flourishing pretty well. As she likes to say, she was born in Trinidad and buttered in Brooklyn. Zavia loves what she does and enjoys improving the morale of individuals through the art of hair and makeup. So welcome, Zavia.
Thank you for having me. I am so thankful and grateful
Absolutely.
to be on your show.
Hey, yes, and you might have some
might
have some other things that you're doing that we're gonna make sure we share. We don't want nobody too humble on here. I mean, this is the time to share. That's and she's actually, you're in Atlanta, correct?
I'm in Atlanta. I am. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when I come down there to visit, I'm gonna definitely get in Zavia's
chair. You better.
Yes.
I'm looking for you.
Absolutely. And I also want to welcome my sister, Erica Dove. You all have probably heard me talk about my sister, but you probably haven't, really known like what does Erica do? Well, you kind of know what she do because I'm always, just bragging on my sister. But let me give you a little background on her, and then we're gonna get to talking. So Erica Dove is a hardworking attorney, judge, entrepreneur, community servant, dog mom, and a candidate this year for Gwinnett State Court Judge Division 5. She was born in Washington, D.C., and then moved into Georgia in 1980. She's been a resident of Gwinnett County, Georgia since 1981, where she attended Gwinnett County schools, elementary, middle, and high school. And then she attended Howard University for both undergrad and the School of Law. So I'm sure there are some Bisons on here that are just making all kinds of noise, but we putting them on mute, whatever. Okay, it's a mixed crowd up in here. Okay, Spelman, yeah, y'all make noise too. Upon graduating from law school and passing the Georgia bar in 2002, she began her career at King & Spalding, LLC, and later she served as a misdemeanor prosecutor in the state court of Gwinnett County for 10 years, where she served on the DUI accountability court team and assisted in the creation of the mental health division program utilized in Gwinnett State Court. She's also served as a prosecutor in several municipal courts, including Norcross, Suwannee, Lilburn, and others. And in 2015, she established her own law firm, the law offices of Erica K. Dove, LLC. Whoop, whoop, handling various types of matters, working on the indigent defense list, serving as an advocate for clients with special needs and mental health issues, and also veterans on state court Veterans Accountability Court team. Since 2015, she's handled over 1,000 matters in Gwinnett County Court alone. In 2022, she was sworn in as Associate Municipal Court Judge in the cities of Lilburn and Chamblee. And she also participated as a member and volunteer in several nonprofit and civic organizations that serve the community of Gwinnett County, including, and I'm just going to just say a few, STRAP, Junior League, there's GABWA, and several others. Gwinnett Chamber, Gate City Bar, and others. She is not sitting there twiddling her thumbs. We can surely see this. She's working to this month. I mean, May 24th, I believe, is the date of that everybody needs to make the decision. And I just wanted to share with you that, Erica has taken on Judge Erica, should I say? I don't know how I'm supposed to, she still be just Erica. But I mean, her intentions are to work hard, to serve with integrity and rule, impartiality and fairness. So please check Erica out. If you are in those areas, please support her, go out there and vote. She's making a difference. So I want to welcome both you ladies in celebration.
Thank you.
Yes, in celebration of the last day of the month and the last day of Women's History Month. This is to celebrate you ladies for all that you do. I did want to make the connection before we kind of talk to you a little bit. And so you all will have to tell the story, but Zavia and Erica actually connected. And for those who don't know my sister, she's not one for a whole lot of, glam and all of that. But since she connected with Zavia, Erica can explain how. And when they connected, they created magic. We have seen my sister in a whole nother light.
What you trying to say, Lisa? What you trying to say?
It's just, she's really
light that shine.
Yes. I love it. Look, we all know that once we sit in that chair and get our face beat, it's a whole different situation. We don't look like this every day. So, I wanted you all to kind of share a little bit. Zawi, we can start off with you, but share a little bit about your journey and what you do. And then we'll go over to Erica and then connect on how you all met.
Well, I started doing makeup about 16 years now. I moved to Georgia, to Atlanta, actually from Brooklyn, New York. And immediately I started working at CNN. I started working for television. I never trained for it in my life, nothing. And so and I guess someone agrees, right? And my career just catapulted from there. Started working in television. Big up to my homegirls that trained me since back then. We're still friends now, Tamika, Medea, and all those girls. We airbrushed and I got trained and we just moved on from there, and it was a lot of building relationships, I was in a different setting. I was in a different light. But one thing that I learned was that, you have to adapt quickly. Mm-hmm. So, so I did that. I adapted quickly and just jumped on board and was confident in myself and whatever I did. And it just took me from there to the Weather Channel. And what I did was manage the Weather Channel for 7 whole years.
Wow.
It was like this was about 9 years ago. Nah, this is like 11. Time is flying, okay? But listen, this was years ago, but I say it like that because I sit back and say, whoa, I managed the whole Weather Channel for 7 years? Like, what? Sometimes things happen so quick that you don't even realize what's really happening unless you really take a pause. And I really didn't take a pause. So,
Right.
it just kept going and going, and which I was grateful for. And at that time, I was able to work with a lot of, television. I worked with HGTV. I worked with the Property Brothers. I worked with, it just
Oh, the
opened a lot
Property
of doors.
Brothers.
The Property Brothers, I worked with
They're
them.
awesome.
Yeah, I love them. They're great. They're great, great energy. And I also worked with Robin Mead with CNN. I worked with David Banner. He's a local Atlantan.
Right.
Most people know him out here. I worked just a lot of network television, a lot of executives, and it's been an amazing journey so far. So I love Atlanta. I gotta say I love Atlanta. I mean, I love Brooklyn, but Atlanta has treated me pretty good. And that led to me after a while, motherhood took place. I had my little boy, and I decided to exit that scene, and I opened up my own little boutique.
Okay.
Still here in Gwinnett. So I heard that we're now Gwinnetians, right, Erica?
Oh, is that what they call them now?
That's what they calling us now. That's what I heard. So
Yes,
I
Venetians
guess
is the
I'm a
term.
Gwinnetian.
Yes.
We done crossed over, the timeline. You know what I'm saying? So, but that kind of opened up doors, and I said, I wanted to open up a studio that just would allow me to provide makeup services at that quality for women in the community. And so I did that, and that led to amazing relationships that of women that I met that time. I mean, there's great women, notable women here in Gwinnett County, and so I met them, and then that catapulted into Erica. We just have mutual friendships and mutual people that we know here, and that is how I met Erica. And it was all through makeup, just bonding, just keeping connected with folks, building great relationships, having great energy all the time. And that's how we ran into each other. And Erica said she running for a judge. I said, Dad, Lord, you great. You just sending judges my way. And it was just like, it was just amazing. And I just felt like, this is awesome.
Yes.
This is awesome. So that's how we met. That's how
I love it. Yeah, because I know I had given Erica some, when she was getting all this together, and I'm like, okay, well, you're too far away from me, so you're gonna have to find makeup artists and things like that. And Erica's just like, oh, brother.
Right.
But when I saw her pictures, I was like, okay, you got connections down there in Atlanta, because Atlanta's the place to be, especially with that kind of thing. So Erica, tell me a little bit. Of course, you my sister.
Right. I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go, right?
Yeah, right. For those who don't know, this is actually my real sister. I know we say sister, everybody would do. This is actually my little sister. But she's in the field of law and has been most of her life. So tell us a little bit about how you got to, what about being a lawyer fascinated you, and then you just took it all the way to the top.
Okay. Well, first of all, I will tell you, I got Xavier's name from another judge and Howard graduate.
Oh, wow.
And that's how that connected. And now she's doing the commissioners of the county and everybody else.
I know that's right.
Way in the mix.
That's right.
I did to the commissioner the other day, and she's amazing. So I said, these doors are really flying open, and it's a great opportunity to bond with these women and know who's right in your backyard,
And that's how it's supposed to work. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. This is weird to talk to you about, who I am.
Pretend like I'm not there and talk to you.
Yeah, right. I'm like, so back when I was a child. So I've been practicing since 2002. I'm a double bison and all of that. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Been practicing. One thing I said is I would never do whatever I was going to do. I was not going to do criminal law.
Wow.
I went to King and Spalding and end up being a prosecutor. How does that happen?
Never say never.
Never say never.
Right.
10 years I was a prosecutor in state court with the solicitor's office. I still had a part-time hustles with the municipal courts where I was a part-time prosecutor. when I started my own practice. Been practicing on my own since 2015. Done a little bit of various things, Social Security, veterans work, criminal defense, family stuff, a little variety of a whole bunch of stuff, mostly criminal defense. Um, and during that time, I've helped create the mental health diversion program. That was actually, as a prosecutor, I helped create the mental health diversion program. I was a part of the DUI court team. And then when I came out, I helped with the mental health diversion as a defense attorney, part of the getting the team together. And I also have been with the Veterans Court Accountability Court since its inception. Wow. So very active in the state court arena of Gwinnett County. And then earlier this year, I got sworn in as a judge. So I'm sitting as a judge several times a month. Very exciting. And as the introvert I am, I decided to run for Gwinnett County State.
Go figure.
Go figure.
That's how it happens. It's a weird dynamic.
Which led me to pictures and Facebook, and I
hate all of that stuff. Right.
Yeah. And that led me to Xavier.
Yes.
See how that circle goes.
It sounds like a yellow brick road.
I know, really. Because Erica, she's right. She is the introvert.
Amazing.
I don't actually think I'm just always the extrovert, but I'm probably more extrovert than she is.
Yeah. When I was trying to set up Facebook, I was like, no, just no. And she was like, come on, girl, this will be fun.
You gotta do it.
Like you hours setting this stuff up. And I was like, I need it to be over.
Yeah.
It was like pulling teeth, but it was like something that had to be done. But she got the hang of it. It didn't take her long. I knew she would be fine once we got into it. She was doing more than I was sometimes. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm,
no, I was not outdoing you. I promise you that.
That's you. But look, sometimes I was like, oh, she got the hang of this. So, but I'm very proud of you. You know this. I've said this. I don't know how many times. It's funny because I don't even know if Erica realizes or remembers that when I was younger, you being an introvert, I always said I wanted to be a lawyer. Wow. And I always thought about it. I just always said, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a lawyer. I don't even know why I was there. But when Erica became the lawyer and I kept saying, Erica's so laid back and cool and chill. I don't know, because I'm thinking she'd be like, yeah, just throw a book at him. I don't care. No. So we played around with it a lot of times. But it's funny how, things happen and things get twisted and turned. But I've just always been so proud of her. Everything she's done it with 100% energy, gusto. She ain't look back. Don't ask no questions. I wanted to ask you though, before we go back over to Xavier, because both of you kind of made some leaps of faith. So when you decided to do the law office of Erica K. Dove, what did that feel like? Because that's a huge step. It has to be very scary to make that kind of move. So how was that?
That was definitely a leap of faith. It was not in my agenda. I will tell you that. I had been a prosecutor for 10 years and it was time for me to leave. And it was like, to me, it was a decision about, okay, well, I can sit around and complain about my circumstance, or I can get out and do something else. Mm-hmm. And so I can't depend on anybody else to make those moves for me. So I had to make the change and do it myself. And I had some money in the bank, made some arrangements to go on the indigent defense list, is where we represent clients at a reduced rate to just get things flowing. Mm-hmm. And just leaped out there and did it. And, as scary as that was, it just took off right away. And I got a lot of support from a lot of the attorneys in the area who had known me as a prosecutor, and, everybody kind of chipped in and supported, and it just took off, and it's been good ever since. Even through the pandemic, I was worried that I was going to have trouble, and it all worked itself out.
It sure did. Like almost immediately. I remember we had planned one of our first trips traveling together before everything was about to take off. So she's like, look, this is going to be it for a long time because I got things that I got to set up and do when she was taking this leap of faith. So I was, you know, excited for her, but I didn't know what she was feeling about doing it because that's huge. It's a whole entrepreneurship and starting your own thing is a whole nother ball game. But she just did it with such ease and grace as usual. She don't sweat. She
Mhm.
she just like, okay, bring it, let's do it. If we're gonna do it right. So Zavi, you actually took a leap of faith too with what you're doing. So how was that?
A couple times. I mean, listen, my journey is like ditto a leap of faith, you know? And so it was great. It's been great. One of my leaps of faith, most recently, I worked on the game actually. The
Okay.
game was showed on Paramount Plus. I recently worked on that. And that was a leap of faith because I never worked in a makeup trailer on a television set before. You know,
Oh,
I've
cool.
predominantly worked in news and
Okay.
daytime television. So that was a leap of faith, you know, when I was offered that to do something like that. So big up my girl Stevie for that offer. And it was a great experience. So that was a leap of faith, you know, at that time. Um, when I outside of doing the salon that I opened up, that was the other leap of faith that I took
Right.
most recently. And then right now, again, I'm opening up another studio. So I'm taking another leap of faith and I'm here listening to Erica's story, you know, and I feel you because I normally worked in, you know, corporate America makeup. And so coming out of that steady work and consistent thing and taking a leap of faith and trusting God and saying, you know, okay, am I going to get these clients? You know, how am I going to do this? You know, and now I have a studio and a business. So, but I believe that'll happen again because it's happened before. So, you know,
Absolutely.
you would just think about it, it's like it's happened before.
And you know, when I went to Zavia for makeup, like she's like, okay, so what do you want? And I'm like,
I
I
didn't know.
want natural.
Right. I said, what? Natural.
Natural. Like, I don't want a whole bunch of stuff. Like,
Right,
I had the
right.
eyelashes and I was like,
I would have just been laughing through the whole experience, like, oh my gosh, she is just going, I don't know what to do with all of this. She looked
Oh,
amazing.
thank you. Thank
She
you. You
did.
know,
She looked amazing. I'm like I said, I'm definitely going to give you a cheer. I wanted to shout out some people who are tuning in. Cheryl, our cousin Cheryl, is saying, you know, so proud of you, Erica. Sharon Parker, who actually showed a flyer showing that she's having a ninth annual Rose of conference, and Sharon is an introvert, so she is definitely relating because y'all get the job done. Actually, Zavia, she said we got to get you to Maryland. So we might have to work something
yeah.
out. Yeah, Sharon's and John Colbert, who actually is one of my fellow high school friends from Web. I ain't been out that long. I'm not gonna tell y'all all that, but still,
Okay.
he's one of my high school friends, and he says, I feel you, Erica, but congratulations. He's another introvert. So you got some introvert friends in the
yeah, you
house.
still got to make it happen. Even though you're an introvert, don't mean you can't take care of business.
That's right. Well, y'all get it done because y'all nice and quiet, and the distractions don't. And of course, I have to remind you, your mother is tuned in.
Hey,
Um,
mom.
Hi, mom.
Hi, Mom.
I knew she wasn't gonna miss tonight, and I do agree. It was like weird. Like, what? How do I interview? I already know her.
Right.
But then again,
But
you know,
it's
I
so
don't know
fun.
her as lawyer. I don't know her as, you know what I'm saying? Like I never plan to meet her in a courtroom or anything like that. So no, I don't know that part of her. But what I wanted us to do before we come back and talk some more is to take a commercial break, and we will be right back. Yeah, so y'all better go out there to Eventbrite and look up the Power Shut Up Symposium 2 2022 and get your tickets. It's going to be an amazing time. And while you're over there, look up the Mommy and Me Tea. It's a free event. The Power Shut Up is not free, but it's worth every dollar you're going to spend. And it's from 10 to 3. So we're going to be there for a while. We're going to talk about the power of words, and when and if we should be speaking on things. Sometimes it's better to just be quiet. You'd be amazed at how much peace you can find from learning to use your words wisely and use less of them. So this is a course based on the book that I did called The Power Shut Up, which is my baby. That's my forever my platform. I just think that communication is key to everything, and sometimes no communication is a whole lot. So please come check us out. Have a good time with us. I can't wait. I'm excited about doing it on April 30th. So we hope to see you there. And don't leave yet. We're still on the show right now. But after we're finished, going over to Eventbrite and get your tickets and lock in. So we're back with Erica and Zavia, and we want to talk about just what's going on with this month being Women's History Month. What are some things that maybe you did to celebrate? I know I try to share some tips all month long about how we can celebrate each other, considering that sometimes the narrative is that we don't celebrate each other and we don't get along and all that kind of stuff. But I think I'm here to say, and you all too, that that's not true. Of course, with every circumstance, there's people who don't get along, so to speak. But this month especially, I just love celebrating what all women are doing to make an impact. Zavia, you working in, I mean, it's got to be kind of cool to be working in the area with the news. And because I think people don't think about the fact that they have to get up, and the guys have to get up every morning in the wee hours of the morning and get their makeup done so that they look like they look. So tell us about how that is, because that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And I gotta mention, managing the Weather Channel for that long, I managed it and worked that shift 3 a.m. for that time alone until yes. It wasn't a heavy workload, but it was an early wake up call. So it was definitely a commitment and a dedicated, position that I had to have. And yeah, you're right. No one thinks about that. You have to get up early because the show starts at 5. So you have to be there early to get them prepared for the show.
And every day.
Every day. And
for guests and everything.
Yes.
Because I know I did Court TV once. Okay. And I had to go to the makeup room before they put me on and all that stuff too. So it's the regulars and the people that visit to help.
Wow.
Definitely the guests. So that in any weather. Now, come on now. We've had situations where, we've had storms in Atlanta, when we had, I think it was Snowmageddon. Was it nickname or something like that? So yeah, so that we had. And I mean, you're going to get to work somehow because these folks have to get on live.
Well, that's right. That's right. You don't have a choice to say, "Oh, I can't make it today," because they still have to go live.
Georgia is not like DC and New York, where all the roads have been plowed and all of that.
Right. So it's a bit different. So you have to stay nearby. But so that's a good point that you brought up. So yeah, that is definitely a part of the job that you have to be prepared for and know that it's something that's possible. That's something that
right. Well, you gotta love what you do.
To do
Let
that.
me just say, to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning or even before then, you gotta love exactly what you're doing, because I don't even think I'm rolling over yet at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just like stiff and straight and sleeping. So
wrinkle on my eyes, honey.
Yes. And we think about news comes on. I guess you don't think about the fact that you catch the news when you get up, but yeah, they were up at 4 o'clock in the morning giving news to those who got to get up early. So, and they have to look the part no matter what. So
yes,
and then Erica's in that arena.
Yes. And then it depends on the makeup is that's news. Then you have like I said, the movies. That's different. I mean, that call time could be 2 a.m., honey. So you just have to know that this is it's been an exciting career. It's been exciting. Look at Erica. Erica's like, honey, I'm in I don't know,
Dreamland.
kind of world, you know.
Yes, Dreamland.
So it's that's part's been really cool, but
But
it's exciting.
exciting.
It's exciting. It's
Exciting. Yes.
cool. Also, another thing is being prepared for the elements. You know, there's times where you're filming at 3 a.m. and it's winter. It's probably 20 degrees outside.
Oh
So
my.
you have to now be prepared for that weather because you're going outside. You're going outside. If it's raining, you're going. You know, so for me, it was a great experience because it was so different from the news. It's completely different, you know, and so and then in the movies, it's more character than
Right.
beauty. So like on the game, which I recently worked on, it was more fellas, it was more guys, you know, and
Okay.
so there's times where we have to create sweat. You see people that are picking up
Oh,
that. So there's that element and that part of the creative part of makeup that we're working with. You know, you have to
that's
feel
cool.
sweat. Yeah. You know, if it's not really hot outside, but the scene today is we just got working out 12 hours or something, you know. So how do we
Right.
get sweat and keep sweat on them? So it's like last looks, and we're out there and, you know, spraying them. So it's exciting and everything, you know. So I
I
love
know.
that.
I know with the from the two movies that I had, I know that there were two different experiences, but the latest one with Old School Rollers. And yet when I got, when you get your makeup done, and I was also kind of, I never wore the lashes, but of course when you on screen, you need that extra oomph and you need that
Yeah.
extra, makeup. But then when I started the magazine and I all of a sudden had to get my makeup done and take pictures, which, I always tell the story that I'm just not, I wasn't as good with the pictures because I mean the last time we were taking pictures was in school and you're supposed to sit up straight and smile. But photography is very different when you're in business. So I wasn't into the poses, and so I was like, I don't know what to do. And then the makeup, and sometimes having to pitch in and do it yourself. If the makeup lady has to get to this person, and then and then they got to touch you up, and it's all kinds of stuff. I think I had one experience where we did a live. I was a producer on a show, but it was in the studio, and we had we were actually doing a live show. And so I had to get dressed, get my hair done, and get my makeup done. And it was happening all at the same
Same
time.
time, yeah.
I was
Mhm.
like, what
That's
in
that
the
team tag
world?
team,
And
tag
I
team.
couldn't see nothing. It was like as soon as they finished and they twisted me around and turn here and do this, and then it was like, okay, you got to get out on the stage. The mic is hot. And I'm like, I haven't even looked to see. I couldn't even look. I had to just trust that it was all good. And it was, but it was like that's such a. I mean, I just felt like, is this what they go through every day? This is crazy. I mean, but it was fun. But I can imagine that your life is just when you're doing that, everything's moving
I
so
love
fast.
it. I love it. I love it. I love my life, and I love the fact that I'm not only a makeup artist, I'm a hairstylist too. So
Yes,
I'm actually a cosmetologist. So it's something that I bounce back and forth from all the time. You know,
I
I'm
love it.
bored with makeup today. I'll do hair. Or I'll do hair. I'll do makeup. And how I got into that was kind of like, weddings. A lot of people wanted makeup, and then said, you know what? Can I budget? It's a better budget if they have somebody that does both. So it
Right.
kind of worked out. So, I love the fact that I can actually do hair or makeup at any time. So I'm
I
really
love it.
blessed.
I am a
Yeah.
fan of, as Erica said, I love a natural look. The only thing
Yes,
outside of
yes.
the natural look is I really do love a smoky eye. So I will go there and do a smoky eye. But
He always
my
talk
rule,
about a smoky eye.
yes, but my rule is, so if I have a situation where I need to go get my face beat, then I always let my husband know. So after this is done, you have to take me somewhere, okay? Because I cannot waste this face on just sitting at the house. So let's plan to go out to eat or something. Somebody got to see this because it won't look like this tomorrow, okay? It's not gonna look like this. But
Mhm.
I love all the. I never used to be into makeup as much, but as I've gotten older, it's kind of nice to get your face beat and get your hair done and
Mhm.
just glam it up every
Mhm.
now and then for
Mhm.
absolutely no reason at all. Why
Might
not?
as well. We queens. We might as well.
Yes, you
And
are
I've seen
right.
your makeup. I've seen your makeup, and honey, it is flawless, honey. I love that smoky eye on you.
Well, look, I can't do it, but when she's done, when I've had I have a couple of uh, um makeup artists up here that I love to go to, but when they've done it, I'm just like, oh wow.
It's beautiful.
Because my husband's like, why is it look? Because they don't know nothing about makeup. But he's
Well,
like,
no, Lawrence is just special. He's like, why you look like that?
like, why are you? And I'm like, because. So take me somewhere and just smile. You know, like,
Right.
yeah, that's me. That's all you gotta do. Don't ask all them questions. I'm just kidding. So
Yeah.
so Erica, so what are you looking forward to doing? You have this, you know, May 24th is gonna be a huge decision. So what are you doing to prepare for this day, which is not even 2 months away?
Right. Early voting is May 2nd. So I'm just trying to get out with the citizens and let people know, you know, we're going to start the canvassing soon. And just try to get the word out, putting signs out, that kind of stuff. Just
I said I
ready.
want a sign. I mean, she was asking me what for. No, I mean, like, but I was like, I want a sign. I want to put a sign in my yard.
We'll give you a sign after it's over.
After it's over. How?
I mean, the sign in Maryland doesn't help me much here in Gwinnett
Well,
County.
you never know. Somebody might be.
You got the sign that you just used it. You flashed it up. You good.
They might be visiting from out of town and ride by and say, "Oh, bet when we get back home on Monday."
Right? Because you
never
people are gonna be from Gwinnett County riding past your house.
Don't knock it. You never
There
know.
she is.
So I mean, I'm like I said, Erica has been moving and grooving down there. I have been watching you, and I mean, Georgia stays busy. They have lots of events and things.
Well, in Gwinnett County, we have 1 million people in Gwinnett County now. It's changed a lot since you left.
Okay.
It's 1 million people in Gwinnett County, and it's just huge.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I say every time I turn around, there's an official day of something going on.
I want to say maybe there's 15 cities or 16 cities or something like that.
Oh my.
Yeah. And Erica, you're always at something. I'm always seeing like
always
paparazzi. I said,
well, and I'm actually not as good at taking the pictures.
Too, because when I met Erica, I didn't get that. I don't know. But our energy just really just clicked. Like immediately. I felt like this was like a distant sister. Erica's like paparazzi. Every time I was like trying to catch up. Erica, can you share your email to me?
It's so not, it's so not. Like my whole life, you can barely find pictures of me anywhere.
A totally different person.
It really is a different. It's really strange to watch because
so organic and natural. It's new.
It's so not. It's outside of my comfort zone, but. That means I'm doing something right if I'm outside of my comfort zone. But I'm definitely outside of my comfort zone.
Well, Sharon actually mentioned Celencia, but Celencia is actually one of my high school. She went to the same high school as me, Sharon. So yes, I think my high school HD Woodson friends probably think that Erica went to school with me. Because I talk about her so much. But yes, Celencia has been down in Georgia for a minute. But she actually graduated from HD Woodson. So, and I have some of my shout out to my HD Woodson Warriors.
Yes, the Warriors
some of them have stepped up. Yes, they are supporting all the way from here. They are supporting her down in Atlanta. So I thank you all. That's how Warriors do. Okay, that's how we do. So, I'm so proud of both of you all for just showing up. And being who you are so that we can celebrate you at moments like this. I did want to do a special shout out to Prince DeJour, who is on Radio 1 102.3. And he actually
was a fabulous shout out.
He did a wonderful shout out. I was totally surprised. It was so wonderful, but he shouted us out and he said he didn't want to start no sibling rivalry. So he gave me a shout out for Lunchin with Lisa and then Erica and of course my mom. And I thank him for doing that. That was absolutely wonderful. And it was in honor of Women's History Month. So 102.3 was hot that day. And I think my husband came in the house and he just happened to be listening to that station. That's one of the stations we listen to. And he came in the house and tried to hint to me, did something exciting happen today? And I was just like, hey. And then he's like, hey, what's going on? And when saying that, I was like, oh yeah, we got a shout out. He said, yeah, I heard Dove. And I was like, wait a minute, what are we talking about here?
Not that many of us out there.
Right. Well, and
Right.
then a couple of my friends kind of inboxed me and said, I heard you get a shot on the radio." So it was absolutely wonderful. And I'm so glad. I think Sharon actually said, American Mothers National 2022, 2020 Mother of the Year is in Georgia, Latarsha Holden. You never know who you know in Gwinnett County. Exactly. So I did want to make sure that we said too that
Wow.
for the Mommy and Me virtual tea, American Mothers is also going to be in attendance at that event. And shout out to Dr. Tashika, who is the 2022 Mother of the Year here in the DMV, but absolutely make all the connections we can from Maryland to Georgia. You'd be surprised. Victoria Holland, thank you for joining in. Victoria has family in Georgia, and Victoria has been spreading the word. Okay,
Love
so
her.
and here's the thing: Victoria is not even in DMV. Victoria is in North Carolina.
Oh, I don't
Um,
think I knew that.
Victoria's in North Carolina,
She's
and
so
she's
active
actually,
with your channel and all of that. Had no
yes.
idea.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Victoria and I have worked together for it started in COVID. We've done a lot of things together, and she has some events, Favors Fair event that's coming up that I'm going to be a part of. There's a whole lot of wonderful events coming up, but Victoria, and she's also going to be a speaker at the Power Shut Up Symposium. So
Mm.
she was a speaker last year, and we're bringing her back this year. But Victoria is somebody who, if she sees something, she tries to share it with the world. And Erica, she has definitely reached out to her family in Georgia and told them to get out there and check out Erica Dove.
I
So,
love it.
so
I love
yes,
it.
love Victoria from North Carolina to DMV everywhere. Thanks everybody for tuning
Gwinnett
in.
County.
Yes, Gwinnett County. So let me ask both of you. We'll start with Zavia. So what do you have coming up? Any projects, any new sets you're gonna be sitting on? What's going on with you?
Well, I have nothing new right now. I have some things bubbling up, but I haven't settled on anything as yet.
Okay,
So I have
okay,
some things on the table, but I haven't selected anything as yet because I've been in the process of opening my new suite that
okay,
opens this weekend. It's called Salon 24. And basically, I'll be doing hair and makeup. I'll take clients, and I have a really good spring break special going on next week. So I've been kind of focused on opening that. So now that I'm getting that off the ground, I'll go on and select which set I would like to work on. And I've also been working on a hair oil. I don't know if y'all see my edges.
oh, okay.
I got some edges, you know.
I
But
know that's right.
it's been a struggle. You know how our edges, some women struggle with their edges, and so I have a hair oil that I've been working on, and it's called Gold Hair Oil Drops.
Oh,
I'm gonna get
nice.
some to y'all ladies, but I wanted to show y'all this here. And
Yes,
it's
I had to get some from you so I can give it away next at the symposium or something. Absolutely.
yes, yes. So we're working on this as well. I just kind of been focusing on me and what I really, really want to bring out of me before I start giving myself a weight, because even though we go on these sets, it's really we're working for someone else. We're building
Right.
their dream and we're building their legacy. We're building their show, which I'm appreciative of, and it's a great experience. You get to work around stars and celebrities, but at the same time, we have to find that balance and work on something for ourselves. And
Absolutely.
so that's just my focus and what I've been focusing on right now and where God has my eyes set on. So that's
Okay.
what I have coming up. I'm also working on so probably for teenagers for next week for spring break. I'm working on some braiding classes that probably are going to be virtually. So I'm working on that. And because I've had a lot of people wanting me to mentor them as far as makeup, braiding, hairstyling.
Okay.
So I'm working on that as well. So just a lot of focus on getting out the things and the fruits that I really want to share with everyone.
So
Mhm.
what we're gonna do is because we're gonna make sure that they know how to contact you, and before we find out, which we know a little bit about what's going on with Erica, where her focus is until May 24th.
Yeah.
We know where her focus is, but what I wanted to do was have a quick lunching with Lisa moment.
Mhm.
So this is when we shift things a little bit, and If you all don't know yet, I have a lunchbox that we actually, because it's Lunching with Lisa. So how could we be Lunching with Lisa without a lunchbox?
That's
So we have a lunchbox, and we encourage everybody to actually go to our email address and send us topics and things that you'd like for us to discuss. It could be anything from relationships to kids to whatever. And we drop them in this lunchbox, and then I spring these on my guests, and they have no idea what we're going to talk about. But that's Lunching with Lisa moment. So, considering what has been all over the internet, I kind of wanted to get you all's take on the slap. Okay. So we wanted to just talk a little bit about that. I've been on some other platforms and just kind of talked about it without necessarily picking sides or whatever. But of course, I'll share my view on that. But we wanted to just show a quick little clip, and then just have a quick discussion about it before we say goodbye.
Will Smith wins, like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Oh, well, we could probably stop here, but yeah, yeah, excuse that. But I wanted to have a quick conversation about that. So, and I can share my thoughts on this as well, and I wanted to ask you all. But I was listening to a show, and I don't know if you all are familiar with the guy. His name is Marcellus Wiley. And he has, I think it's a sports show or something like that. And he made a point that I thought was very interesting about this whole dynamic, what happened. And to the point of people who said that he was protecting his wife and, and that kind of thing, which I mean, I can see where that played a part in it. But what he said was, I think he took it a little deeper, and he said, well, you don't have to take up for your woman if you take care of your woman.
Ooh.
And I thought that was a very powerful statement, and took it a little bit deeper. And I kind of agree with that on the level of, I think there's a whole lot of buildup from drama and things that have gone on within the relationship, and that it just kind of fell into this hole of the Oscars, and Chris just kind of got all of the frustrations and the anger. But although I understand standing up for your woman, I am a wife. We want our mates to stand up for us. I just think that this kind of goes to the power of shut up, which of course, even you're communicating even when you don't speak, that there's a time and a place for everything. And the sad part of the reaction was his son had put something out that said, that's how you do it. And I said, that's the whole reason why that is never the response that we give, no matter how emotional we get. And I know we're all human, but I just think there was a better way to handle that. For a whole lot of reasons, that was just not the way to go. So what do you all take real quick on? Because I was kind of going to do a who's lunching. Is Chris lunching or is Will lunching? So just real quick, what are your thoughts? Zavia?
Well, I just thought, I agree with you. I just thought it could have been handled differently. The aggression, it was just out of place, and it just, and I'm a fan of Will Smith. So, I mean, I just now think I have double thoughts, because I didn't expect that. Like a lot of other people, I didn't expect that. So I just felt like he could have handled it differently. And then, all of the propaganda about, different theories about, is it this or that? Was it acting? Was it comedy? What's happening? All these issues are out there and all this gossip. But, I just felt like it could have been handled differently.
I agree. So, Eric, what do you think?
I agree. I think that Chris handled it very well. I mean, it could have gone a whole different way, and I think he handled it well. by simmering the situation and moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we all wish Will Smith would have handled that differently. I mean, it could have been a side conversation, after the fact, or, we can all, Monday morning quarterback it, but,
Yep.
after it's done, it's done. You can't, unfortunately, we can't change what we have already done. It wasn't done properly, but
Right. We can't unsee it.
but
So
I mean, we all know that comedians say obnoxious things sometimes. So, I mean, kind of anticipate some of that when you go into when you're
That's
front row at a comedy show or, the Oscars, that it just doesn't seem like the environment for that. So, well, I don't
yeah.
know what would be the environment for that, but obviously.
Right. Well, and I to the point of why I wanted to connect it to the power shut up is because that's the whole point of my whole message with the book is that we really have to think first before we react to things, because all day long we're going to come across things that are going to hurt our feelings, be disrespectful. And I just feel like that in this time and age, especially with the last few years with what has gone on and whether it's politics or whatever else, that we have to be mindful of what we're doing and what we're saying, and people don't forget. So you don't want the memory of something you said or did to be something that's really not even you. There was an emotional moment, but it's what you're judged on for everything you do going forward. Because I did feel a little differently about him after that, because I always saw him as controlled and and just
yeah.
kind of thinks first, and that was a not think first. I think he reacted to his wife
Except
and
for it was in slow motion because he actually took a strong pace toward him and
he did.
so
He
I
did.
don't know. I don't know.
But you know what? I think it was
I mean, there was a
because,
solid 30 seconds before he
Yeah.
even reached Chris.
well, I get it, but I think that because they had a situation just days before, that I think that he was on ready for the next moment and just was like, I have already decided on some level that I've had enough. And I think, you used to laughing at stuff, but after a while, he just got tired. I don't agree with what he did. I've kind of, I pray for both of them that they work it out. I don't know that their friendship will ever be the same on some level, but it was just sad to see. But I wanted to use that as a luncheon with Lisa moment, and thank you all for kind of having fun with that. And hopefully, we'll heal past that, and that parents will have conversations with their children and whoever saw that and really say, this is not the way we handle those kind of situations. But this all goes to the power shut up. So if y'all get y'all tickets and going over there, we can talk about it and figure out how we approach these situations a little better than that. So what I wanted to do was for Xavier to share with us how we can connect with you, so that people can reach out to you. And then, of course, Sharon said we got to get you to Maryland. So
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm ready. Just let me know when.
absolute, Sharon, we had to work to see how we can get Xavier here. And I already told you, when I come to Georgia, I'm gonna find your chair and let you beat my face. So
Well, definitely.
please tell them.
Yeah, definitely. The best way to connect with me is through Instagram. I'm Zavia Siska on Instagram. And that's the best way to connect with me. You can connect with me there, and all of my links are right there up under my handle.
Thank you. And Erica, we know what you're doing, so tell us a little bit about what you're preparing for May, and then how we can connect with you.
So ready, early voting May 2nd, election May 24th. If there is a runoff, God help us that there's not. That's on June 21st. So it comes right up after, I think like 3 or 4 weeks after. The best way to get in touch with me is you can go to my website, which is ericadove.com. All of my social media information is there, but Facebook is probably the easiest way to follow what's going on. And that is Vote for Erica Dove. And of course, Erica Dove, you can just look up Erica Dove and I'm on Facebook. You can find me very easily. It's not that many of us out there.
Nope. And then of course, y'all know I'm always bragging on my sister because I'm so proud of her. And Xavier, you on the list too.
Thank you.
So I want you all to, feel free to go into the Luncheon with Lisa page and share your, your social media handles and websites so people can find you. And thank you so much for joining me on the show. I did want to take 1 minute, Shariva, and remind you all of DSM Media and what we do. So we're going to run that real quick, and then we're going to come back and say goodbye. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, so DSM Media is myself and Shariva Smith. I'm looking at her behind the scenes dancing to the music. We done put the video together and we dancing to it. But we love what we do. We do social media postings for companies who don't have the time to get out there and do their social media thing. We help them with that. So please visit our Facebook page, actually DSM Media. Your mother says, good show, ladies. I'm proud
Thank
of you
you,
both.
Ma.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank
So
you.
thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please
you,
rerun this. You can share this with anybody. You can share it over and over again. It's also going to be housed on my website, lisadovewashington.com. So again, I thank you all for tuning in every Thursday. You can also find the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. So you can go on over there and listen to it in your car when you're going somewhere. So please feel free to continue to share with your family and friends and invite them over to Luncheon with Lisa every Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. live on Facebook and YouTube. So we will be back next week. Next week is April. So
already.
y'all know we turn it up for April because that is my birthday month. So you're allowed to be a DJ on here with us. I have a guest coming on who is part of the scene that my husband and I love, because everything in April is about the things that I love. I have guests that either sell products that I love or people who do the things I love, and skating is one of my loves. So we will have somebody to talk about the skating world and have some fun with it, and hopefully some music about what we play when we skating on the wood. So y'all need to tune back in next week. So
happy early birthday to your mother.
Happy early birthday to my
birthday is Sunday.
Her birthday.
Wow. Happy birthday, Mom.
She will get the shout out on the next show too. So y'all yeah, so she's April. I did kind of push her out the way because that's
you did.
They April, but they're not
Aries.
So,
she Aries.
Yeah, Aries. So I mean, we trying to y'all go ahead and do y'all thing and hurry up because the Tauruses are pushing through, bulldozing through. But yes, happy early birthday to my mother. I will be shouting her out, of course, next Thursday. And thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we will see you next week. So hold tight. Y'all stay behind the scenes. We'll be right back.